Hi there. My name is Miss Townsend, and I love math. Welcome to Math with Townsend. So this video is for grade 9 academic students who are still looking at the analytic geometry questions. This is in response to a question posed by bigboizism. Mhm. Um, and bigboizism posted a question about video number 11. So let's look at that question, and I'll try to respond as best I can. And this was the question. So in any equation, you can just make anything squared. Why did you just make the b squared? So I went to the video and I found this, and this is the point where it looks like I made b squared. Um, but obviously I didn't just make b squared. I was doing some math that resulted in a b squared appearing. So I want to go through this very carefully and make sure that bigboizism and anyone else really understood where this b squared came from, because it didn't just kind of show up. And you definitely can't, in any equation, just make anything squared. You can't just kind of square something for fun. So let's review. We had, in that video, we had two slopes. So slope number 1 was b over 2. And slope number 2, make sure I get this right, was negative b over 8. So our job was to find b so that, oops, so that m1 was perpendicular to m2. That's what we were trying to do in that question. To find a value for b so that this slope here would be perpendicular to this slope here. That's what we were trying to do. And we know from math class that if two slopes multiply to give -1, then they must be perpendicular. So if m1, so slope number 1, times slope number 2 equals -1, then m1 is perpendicular to m2. So this was the fact that we needed to use. If two slopes multiply to give a product of -1, and only -1, no other number here is a valid statement about perpendicular lines. So if two slopes multiply together and give me -1, then those two slopes represent perpendicular lines. That's what we were doing in the question. And again, I had a slope of b over 2 and a slope of negative b over 8. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to multiply them together and make sure that they had a product of -1. So let's get a fresh, new, clean page. So and what we want to do is we want to multiply these two numbers together. So I'll multiply them, b over 2 times negative b over 8. And remember, you don't have to put a multiply sign between two brackets. It's understood that when two brackets are side by side with nothing in between, that you are multiplying. You certainly, you could put a multiply there, or you could put a dot there, but you shouldn't have to. And in fact, it's better communication to just write this. This means bracket times bracket. Okay, so we have slope 1 and we have slope 2, and we want to multiply them together to get -1. So here's an equation, and the only unknown is b, so now I need to solve for b. So I have to do good algebra math and try to solve for b in this equation. So let's see, what can I do? Well, again, I'm multiplying. So I'm multiplying, and the things that I'm multiplying are fractions. So the rule is top times the top and bottom times the bottom. So we'll look at the bottom. 2 times 8 is 16. What is b times negative b? So let me put that over here. I just really want to make sure that this is really clear. What is b? Well, let's just say, what is b times b? Um, well, what's 6 times 6? 6 times 6 is 6 squared, or 36. 4 times 4 is 4 squared, or 16. So what's b times b? Well, it must be b squared. So in the actual question, I have b times negative b. So it would be negative b squared. So that b squared wasn't some arbitrary decision to square something. I was just doing the math here. B times b is b squared. So positive b times negative b is negative b squared. That's where the b squared came from. It just came from doing this math. And then from here, we just solved. I multiplied both sides by 16, divided both sides by -1, and then I took the square root to get 4 or -4. So I hope that clears up where this b squared came from, because it's really important that you know that you can't just, suddenly write b squared when you used to have b. That b squared was a consequence of multiplying these two fractions together. So I hope that helps, and thanks for your question. Good luck studying. See you in school. May the force be with you.